Dallas Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones. Stephen, how are we doing today, man?
Doing good, guys. How you doing?
Man, getting a victory always feels fantastic, and I had a lot of more superlatives, but did that feel like a bit of a home game with that crowd and that stadium yesterday?
Well, my hat's off to our fans. First of all, what a beautiful stadium, but our fans showed up in full force and were loud, and, there at the end when we needed them, we were trying to hold the Rams out from scoring, or the big defense chance, and it really did have a great atmosphere to it, and really hats off to all our great Cowboy fans, especially the ones out in California who were there for the game. It was a great environment.
Now, the first big play of the game is Dorance Armstrong, and then DeMarcus Lawrence does what he does. But you guys have been talking about Dorance Armstrong for quite some time, Stephen, and a lot of us were sitting there going, okay, maybe one day. What did you guys see that you knew was going to be the difference for this guy?
Well, he just, when given opportunities, he took advantage of them. I think his first year, he was all around the quarterback. He just, didn't finish. But as each year passed, he's gotten better, at the finish part and really starting to produce sacks. I mean, he made a point, that he had as many sacks as some guys who were getting paid twice him with about half the amount of plays. And certainly he's getting his opportunities this year, and he's taking advantage of them. But, he's one of those guys that can rush the passer, and certainly, the way Dan's using these guys and different packages is paying off for us.
I think some of us were, I'm sure y'all were not, some of us were surprised to see Jason Peters pop up as injured or inactive as the week went along. Can you give us any status update for how long he might be out?
Yeah, he has a rib that was really giving him, trouble last week, and we just felt the best thing for him was to get him well. And we were using him in a backup capacity as it was sitting, and certainly we're gaining confidence and Ball and Willetsko and Farniok, and thought we had that luxury to have that covered. Hopefully he'll make strides again this week and can get to where he can be active against his old team, the Eagles. I know he wants to certainly play against them and contribute, so we'll see how this week goes.
Stephen, I know it goes back to the Super Bowl teams that you were a part of in 92 and 93, but I'm watching this defensive front with the depth that you guys have, with Micah Parsons being your best, and thinking this reminds me of when I see 92, I see Tony Tolbert, and I know that it's Dorance Armstrong, but this is just really fun to watch. Do you believe that this is as good a defense as your championship teams?
Well, we'll see what the full body of work turns out to be. It certainly has the potential. The way we're going right now, the defense has a lot of depth. The front seven strong, rotating Ball. Rotating Leighton and Barr and all that crew through. And we've got Damone Smith back in practice starting last week, and I think he has the opportunity to contribute this year. Certainly our depth at the safety position we've seen, is stepped up and really did a nice job. While Kirsch was out, but it was great to get Kirsch back. And then, the corner position is another position of strength for us in terms of, the depth we have back there with Kelvin Joseph and Bland in that group. So it's it's just an all-around deep defense, and, we keep everybody fresh. And, obviously Dan Quinn's doing a good job of really dialing up the right things. I think this is now 5 games in a row that we've kept our opponents under 20 points, and you certainly give yourself a chance to win when you do that.
Stephen Jones joined us here on the K&C Masterpiece on 105.3 The Fan, which he does every Monday here on The Fan. This is interesting because the legend of Micah Parsons is continuing to grow, and when you play through injury, it just adds to it, right? And so he has the groin injury. Can you kind of tell us, because that's got to be a little bit of a concern, right?
Well, we'll certainly monitor that, and we've got, I think, the greatest trainers in the NFL, and Jim Maurer and Britt Brown. They're certainly got to take care of our guys, not put them in harm's way to make things worse. And I think they felt like Micah was at a place where he could, as long as he was comfortable, that he could do it without making it worse. So we'll see how the week goes, but feel good about the prognosis with him. I know he's checked in this morning and felt good, so feel good about him being available.
I think the quote, Stephen, from Micah was, "As long as I'm alive, I'm good to go." Is that like? Do you want every player to have those kind of mentality?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you look for. I mean, we all know this league is physical. It's difficult. It's tough. But and most of the players in this league at some point, play through pain, play through injuries, and are able to do so at a big time level. I mean, we've got them, around the locker room. Certainly, DeMarcus Lawrence has shown throughout his career what he can do, but it just speaks volumes to their competitive nature and how they want to help their team win.
I'm really glad that you brought up DeMarcus Lawrence. It seemed like early in the week, we know, of course, but it seemed like DeMarcus Lawrence and Dalton Schultz might be two more players y'all have to kind of keep an eye on. Is that accurate, and how are they looking this morning?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got to keep our eye on them. As I said, I mean, this is a physical game that we're playing, and after every game you're going to have those things that you got to keep an eye on. Dalton Schultz fits right in there as a guy who's playing through not being 100%, but same type of mentality. He wants to be out there for his teammates, wants to perform and help his team win, and we're just fortunate to have guys like that. But, as you play through the season, that's you're going to have guys who, have these things that you got to monitor. It's a part of our game. The good news is you have some buys packed in there, have a buy packed in, each team does, which gives you, at some point at our buy, we'll have a chance for guys to get even better. But in the meantime, that's why this depth pays off. I mean, you got guys who can go in there. I thought the young tight ends did a nice job yesterday for Dalton, and we'll just continue to work through these things. Every team in the league, I'm sure, is going through the same things.
Now, with that in mind, we've bounced nickname ideas off of you before. Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot that you just mentioned, we have been calling them Fergushot. What do you think about that combination?
You'd have to ask them if they're gonna get nicknamed, but I actually think it's pretty creative. I'd be behind it.
Thank you very much. Tolos love that one too. We always appreciate that. Now the offense scores 22. Your quarterback threw for 102 yards, didn't turn the ball over. That's great. This game, a lot of people I've seen are saying, well, if the Cowboys are going to run up against an opponent, you're going to have to score 30 points at some point. It can't always be like that. What are your concerns about this offense, or do you think you have any at this moment? This is just the way that the game had to be played on Sunday.
Well, I think Mike's doing a great job. Him and Kellen are playing complementary football, and as you said, not turning the ball over, protecting it, letting the defense make plays for us. And then, the biggest thing is we have a franchise quarterback who's not playing right now. And certainly, at some point he will be back sooner than later. And I think when he does, I just think the efficiency of the offense should pick up. But, right now we're doing what we need to do to win the games. We're running the football, which is really important. And, running it late, probably knocked our average down a little bit in terms of our yards per carry when they knew we were going to be running the ball every play. But, I think overall our offense is going to ultimately come and be what we need it to be so they and do their part to help us win these football games.
So you mentioned the franchise quarterback. Dak's handing out firm handshakes to the media now. So what does that mean with the progress?
Well, it means he's progressing, and certainly we feel good about it, and we'll just see what today and tomorrow brings and, make decisions based on where he thinks he is. Obviously, we all know he's got to be able to grip that ball the way he needs to throw it with the accuracy and the zip, that he needs to have to be successful. So we'll continue to monitor that and see where we end up.
I know going into the Eagles game, y'all probably view it from a more practical purpose of, it's a divisional game, but I also think about it's against one of your most hated rivals, and it's an opportunity to knock off the last undefeated team in the league and show everyone how good the Cowboys are. Do you get caught up in that any of that hyperbole like I do, or are you just like, hey, it's a division game, let's go win it?
Well, anytime you play a divisional game, there's the competitive juices come out, whether it's the Eagles, the Redskins, or the Giants. You throw all the records out the window. It's going to be a dogfight, and certainly we expect that in Philadelphia. I mean, they're obviously playing at a high level this year. As you said, they're the only undefeated team left. It'll be a great challenge for us, but I'm sure Mike and the staff's going to have our guys prepared, and I know it'll be important for us to go up there and play our best football, so hopefully we could get a win.
I know you said throw the records out, but you also, it would be a little bit sweeter, right, to give them their very first loss?
Oh, I mean, anytime you're playing the Eagles, you want to beat them. And if it's their first loss this year, then that'd be great too. So, we're vying for the NFC East. Each one of us are trying to win the East, and certainly one of the more, top over the course of time, one of the more top divisions in football, and we just look forward to the great rivalry game up there in Philly.
Hey, Stephen, before we let you go, Tony Pollard had 8 carries on the day, and he was averaging, I think, Kevin, 29.5 yards at halftime.
That's good.
Per carry. But he only had 8 touches. Is that the balance you want? Do you think Tony could be more of an every down back, or where are you with this run game right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a balance you'll have. Obviously, Zeke was having a great day and being physical, and I think was taking its toll on the Rams. So I think ultimately, would you like to get Pollard a few more touches? Absolutely, but they'll work through that and continue to get him his touches, and obviously he's dynamic. I mean, he's so juicy in terms of when he gets in the open field. He makes plays. So I know that's something Mike and Kellen will continue to work on, and hopefully, as we move forward, they'll have more opportunities. But you kind of play you kind of got a gut feel as you're calling the plays there, as Mike and Kellen do. And I think that'll be something we figure out as we move down the road.
Since we are going into a divisional game, I've made the contention for the last several days that at this moment in time, the NFC East is the best division in football. Do you look at the results and what happened in London and think this might be the best division in football?
Well, at the end of the day, Bill Parcells used to say, "You are what you are," and the records speak for themselves right now in the East. I mean, we're 4-1. The Giants are 4-1. The Eagles are 5-0, and the Redskins are, a yard away from being, I think, 3-2. So, it's always been a competitive division. You're talking about 4 of the better franchises in the NFL, and certainly you are what you are right now in the NFC East. I think, if you combine all the records, has the best record of all the divisions in football.
Stephen, we appreciate your time, man. We will get back with you on next Monday, man.
Sounds great, guys. Take care.